Imagine you're standing at the start of a long journey, full of dreams and ambitions, ready to conquer new heights. You have it all: talent, skills, desire, the willingness to work hard, but success still hasn't arrived, and you feel like something is missing. Even with the best ideas, you might still find yourself in the shadows. Why is that? Does success really depend only on your efforts? Or maybe there's another factor that could significantly influence your path to success. How do social connections impact success and opportunities in life, and why knowing the right people might be more important than having a pile of money? Think about how often we hear phrases like, "It's not what you know, it's who you know." This saying perfectly explains the concept of social capital, a theory explored by French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu. This idea has taken social sciences by storm because it explains how our relationships with others can become a powerful resource for success. So, what exactly is social capital? According to Bourdieu, social capital refers to the resources a person can access thanks to their social connections. These resources can vary, from a helpful piece of advice to serious support in your career. In simple terms, social capital is the earned or inherited connections with other people that can help us achieve our goals. It means social capital helps us achieve more than we could on our own. But how does this work? How does social capital help in real life? Let's imagine a situation. Two candidates are vying for the same job. Both have the same education and experience, but one of them has a contact in the company and the other doesn't. Who is more likely to get the job? Probably the one with the connection. This is a classic example of how social capital can affect life opportunities. But social capital isn't just about work. It plays a role in other parts of our life too. From finding a place to live to getting into a prestigious university or receiving help when you're in a tough spot. Even in everyday situations, like asking a neighbor to water your plants while you're away, you're using your social capital. Where does social capital come from? It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Social capital is formed through interactions between people. There are several key sources of this capital. Family connections are the basic level of social capital. History is full of examples of how family ties open doors to new opportunities. Just think about famous political dynasties like the Kennedys, the Bushes, or the Trudeaus. Their success is largely built on family connections and support. Family ties also play a big role in everyday situations. For example, when you need to urgently borrow money, get help with childcare, or find a specialist for a repair. Friends and acquaintances can also be a powerful source of social capital. They aren't just people to hang out with. Sometimes they become the key to unexpected opportunities. For instance, let's say you're looking for a new job. You meet a friend for coffee and they suddenly remember that their colleague is looking for someone with exactly the skills you have. Thanks to this, you not only land the job, but also get support in the new workplace. Once Steve Jobs met Steve Wozniak through a mutual friend, Bill Fernandez. This meeting was life-changing. The two geniuses went on to create one of the most successful companies in the world. Educational institutions, universities, schools, training courses are not just places where we gain knowledge. They're also spaces where important social connections for the future are formed. This is where people meet, build professional and friendly networks that can stay with them for a lifetime. Contacts with former classmates, peers, or teachers can lead to new opportunities in both professional and personal spheres. So don't overlook school or university reunions. Professional networks are one of the most powerful forms of social capital. They not only help expand your circle of acquaintances, but also open up new opportunities for career, business, and personal growth. When people from different fields interact, exchange ideas, experiences, and resources, it becomes a powerful tool for achieving success. For example, at business events in the startup world, important connections are often made when young entrepreneurs meet potential investors, partners, or even future clients. Networking happens through various business events, conferences, professional associations, organizations, online meetings, training sessions, and more. Interest groups and volunteer work are another great way to build your social capital. Joining sports teams, community organizations, religious groups, charity initiatives, or volunteer projects helps you meet like-minded people, exchange experiences, support each other, and build important connections. For example, you're a lawyer who loves sports and plays soccer every Friday. In your team, there's a doctor who also loves soccer. So, besides your shared passion for football, you can offer each other useful connections and help. In this way, interest groups contribute to the development of important social connections that can help with professional, personal, and community growth. The Internet and social media. In today's world, the Internet and social media have become essential tools for building social capital. Platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or X, help maintain old connections and create new ones through online networks. They allow people to find like-minded individuals, partners, employers, or clients, even without physical contact. Social capital exists in all societies, but its manifestations can vary significantly depending on the culture. For example, in Eastern societies like Japan, China, or South Korea, social capital is expressed through a strong focus on collectivism, family values, and long-term relationships. People help each other based on mutual trust, moral obligations, and traditions. On the other hand, Western cultures such as the United States and Europe are more individualistic, but social capital here often shows up through professional networks, community organizations, or volunteering. So social capital adapts to the characteristics of each culture, but its essence remains the same. Connections between people create a resource for collaboration. The theory of social capital has its advantages, but it also faces criticism, particularly regarding inequality in access to social capital. Not everyone has the same opportunities to build useful connections. For example, if you're from a small village where all 200 residents already know each other, your social capital might be a bit limited. Also, it's often the case that connections are used not for mutual benefit, but for manipulation, corruption, or favoritism. But despite the criticism, the concept of social capital remains influential because it helps us better understand how social connections work. So, how can you build social capital? First, start by building trust and mutual assistance. Social capital begins with reliable, trusting relationships. It's important to be open and willing to help others, even when the benefits aren't immediately obvious. Real mutual help creates an atmosphere of trust that allows strong connections to form. Second, actively participate in different communities. Being part of various groups, whether sports clubs or volunteer initiatives, creates new opportunities to connect with people who might be useful in the future. You need to engage with others, share your ideas and resources. Third, establish professional connections. Build professional relationships, even if they don't seem necessary at the early stages of your career. Often, contacts with professionals from other fields or people who have already achieved success can offer important advice or support. Don't be afraid to take initiative. Initiative can be organizing events, starting new projects, or sharing ideas. This helps not only to bring new people into your network, but also strengthens connections with those you already know. Also, remember to engage with online communities. Being an active member of online communities where you can meet people with similar interests is crucial. Thanks to the internet and social media, you can expand your network beyond your country and stay in touch with distant acquaintances easily. Lastly, build mutually beneficial relationships. It's important that your relationships with others are mutually beneficial, not just receiving, but also giving help, support, knowledge, or resources to others. This promotes mutual enrichment and strengthens connections. So, going back to where we started, when it seems like you have everything to achieve your goals, but something is still missing, remember social connections. This invisible resource can be the key to your success. Social capital brings people together, creates opportunities and trust, without which it's hard to move forward. In a world where resources are limited, The ability to build these connections can become your biggest asset. So don't be afraid to expand your social circle. It might just become your greatest competitive advantage.